I would kill to see Jesus come back dressed as Shredder from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Welcome to Tairimo Boys Podcast. I'm your host, Cody. With me in second chair is the boy who's going down to South Park. It's Jeremy.
And have myself a good time.
You do that, Jeremy. With me in third chair is the boy who never wants to experience Christmas in Canada ever again. It's Ryan.
What's up?
So, South Park and Christmas.
They go hand in hand.
South Park goes hand in hand with a lot of things.
Yes, it does.
But with it being Tairimomas, we decided to review some of the Christmas episodes. Not all of them, because there's a lot of South Park Christmas episodes. So, the three we decided to review are Mr. Hankey's Christmas Classics, Season 3, Episode 15, Red Sleigh Down, Season 6, Episode 17, and It's Christmas in Canada, Season 7, Episode 15. And here's a little fun fact. I consider Season 6, 7, and 8 to be the best seasons of South Park.
Agreed.
I've actually got 6 and 8 on DVD. I don't think I've whipped out that DVD in like 20 years.
Time to whip it out.
I did whip it out.
The DVD, that is.
I did whip out the DVD.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure we're on the same page.
At least for one of the episodes. They're too ready to go to get through the streaming app. So, Jeremy, what's your history with South Park?
Grew up watching it. As I always mention, religious household. So it was hard to watch it. I would get yelled at and had to change the channel every time my parents would catch me watching it in the TV room. Fun fact about that is, when I finally got old enough, my mom saw me watching South Park, and she's like, I can't tell you not to watch it anymore. I was like, just shut up and sit down and watch it. She wound up loving the show and would watch South Park with me. Like, do you see what? Stop banning me from shit. Love South Park.
Ryan, what about you?
Well, let's see. I was alive when it debuted. In fact, I used to rent it. They released a couple episodes, 6 or so episodes, on kids, what were known as VHS tapes. I'm not going to explain what those are. At Blockbuster, I'm also not going to explain what that is.
We've explained it plenty of times in other episodes.
And I would rent those, and I would watch them, and they were really funny. I think they were unedited too, so I think you could actually hear the curse words. And then when I moved out and got cable, I started watching it regularly and religiously.
Fair enough. As for me, my family didn't have cable until like 5th grade. I remember flipping through the channels once we did get cable and happened up across the Chimpokemon episode of South Park. I tried watching that. My mom came in and was like, "You're not supposed to be watching that." And then, I don't know, probably was a few months later, I was watching that episode where I think it's the year 2000 is about to happen, and God comes down and Stan asks him why Stan hasn't gotten his period yet. But ever since then, I've been watching it religiously whenever new episodes come out. It's not as good as it once was, I can tell you that.
No, it is not. Actually, I haven't even watched all of the newest stuff.
I think they've only done like specials in the last few years. I think the specials are pretty good. And Ryan, me and you watched, what was it? It was the pandemic special together.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's get into our first episode. So Jeremy's the one who requested we do this. And the first episode he recommended was Red Sleigh Down. Of course, that's a parody of the movie Black Hawk Down. Have either of you boys ever watched that movie?
Sure have.
Jeremy, how accurate is this episode to that?
Oh, pretty close. I'm lying. I don't remember the whole movie, but it was another one of my movies that my dad liked that I wasn't allowed to watch. But it so happens to be one of my top favorite South Park episodes. It's up there.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun episode. I think they stopped using Jesus for a little while before this, and we get to see his return in this one.
For a brief moment.
Jesus died for our presence.
Jesus died in Iraq for our sins.
So here's your little fun fact, kids at home. It's widely believed Jesus was born late September, early October, so Merry Christmas. It would have been too cold for him to have been born in like December. But anyways, this episode, Cartman realizes that he's going to be on the naughty list, so in order to get on the nice list, he decides to bring Christmas to Iraq. Santa agrees to do it. He gets shot down. The boys and Jesus have to go and rescue him. So Jeremy, what were your thoughts on this episode?
Like I said, one of my top favorite episodes of all time. The naughty or nice list, when what is it? Cartman's cousin? Is that Cartman's
No,
cousin that was doing the naughty and nice?
no,
I
it's
can't remember.
It's Kyle's cousin, and he was
Oh, that's right.
he had been like missing from the show for a while before this,
Yeah,
and,
exactly. That's why I can't remember him that well.
and he didn't pop back up till like seasons later. I think it was like
When
the
he's doing the
baseball episode after that.
when he's doing the naughty or nice list, it cracks me up every time. He's like, if you cured cancer and AIDS by next week, you'd still owe 2 presents. That's how naughty Cartman was.
I just love that. Yeah, it's supposed to give off like an accountant vibe.
And of course, anything with Jesus when he starts killing people,
Just like Jesus would.
just
Well,
like Jesus. Man.
I mean, the Bible says Jesus is going to return as a warrior king, so
Oh, he was a warrior king, all right. That was probably my favorite part of the entire episode. And before he starts killing everybody, like has his hands up when they're at gunpoint. My children, you should know something. I'm packing. He just goes Assassin's Creed style.
I would kill to see Jesus come back dressed as Shredder from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
did they do something like that in American Dad?
I don't know. I haven't seen that episode, but my interest is peaked now.
Yeah,
It's like one of the it's one of the most famous episodes. It's Stan and Francine. Rapture happens, they don't get taken, and then the world turns into like a post-apocalyptic world, like Mad Max.
Oh yeah,
world.
yeah. I remember that one.
But anyways, Ryan, what were your thoughts on the episode?
It's one of my favorite South Park episodes with one of my favorite South Park characters with one of my favorite South Park moments in the history of the show. And yes, I'm being purposefully vague.
Ryan loves Mr. Hankey.
Who doesn't love Mr. Hankey?
Wait,
And
Mr.
Tally.
Hankey's in Red Sleigh Down?
Yeah,
I don't remember him in that one.
yeah, they take the Poochoo train to the North Pole.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm getting my Christmas South Park Christmases mixed up now.
That's why you take detailed notes.
Yeah. I wing it.
Who was your actual favorite of character, Ryan?
Kyle's cousin. Oh Jesus. I used to say that all the time. Even annoyed myself.
Fair enough. As for me, these boys have said it. This episode's full of action. You'll get a lot of laughs. Now, most kids might not know that the Iraq War was a thing. We did not find weapons of mass destruction in Iraq like the government told us was there. But this is an episode that was came from that time. And also, it's full of like little teeny tiny Easter eggs. You got the underpants domes, Santa's workshops like the Fortress of Solitude, Mr. Hankey, Kyle's cousin returns and then disappears for a long time. I think it was like the Bat Dad episode where next time you see him.
Doesn't Kenny get reincarnated in this one?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
I was actually saving that for last. So
Spoil.
yeah, for earlier in season 6 and I think season 5, like they permanently killed Kenny.
That was so rough.
That was like the stem cell episode. But they killed Kenny, then replaced him with Butters for a while, and then replaced him with Tweak. And then this episode, you have neither Butters nor Tweak in it. And then like at the very last second of the episode, it's like, oh, hey, Kenny, there you are. And
Like
then,
they never missed him. It's like, oh, hey, Kenny.
yeah. And then after this, Kenny was returned to the show. But part of the reason I like season 6 is season 6 was really the season that Butters became Professor Chaos. That's because the boys got rid of him and replaced him with Tweak. And I gotta say too, my favorite scene, Cartman's like singing on the sleigh.
That is.
It's like you're gonna do a lot of singing to make up for this. These you gotta start singing faster. What about your boys' favorite scene?
When Jesus starts killing, and when Santa goes Rambo.
Fair enough, Ryan.
Right after Santa's balls get shocked,
Santa's balls.
he gets out, then he gets a hold of a gun, and he has that guy at gunpoint that was shocking him. And it looks like he's having a crisis of conscience. And he moves the gun slightly up, shoots, 3 or 4 rounds. And he goes, I couldn't do it. And the camera cuts to the guy whose head is clearly blown off. Goes, I couldn't let him live. He shocked Santa's balls.
Just say the whole episode. Favorite scenes all around. I really love this episode.
All right, next episode. It's Christmas in Canada. Season 7, episode 15. So, literally the following season. This is back whenever they used to do like episodes like all year. Now we're lucky if we get 6 episodes and 2 specials.
Right?
I don't know if you boys could tell, but this was a Wizard of Oz parody.
No.
The only road?
Follow the only road. I thought there was only one road. There is. You went the wrong direction. Jeremy, what'd you think about the episode?
I love this episode. I've seen it before, but it's one of the fewer watched ones that I've seen. So rewatching it was a great experience.
Ryan, what about you?
It's wacky, it's goofy, but it made me appreciate the Wizard of Oz movie a little more.
Same. Wicked. Let's just watch this
Yeah.
over and over again.
Oh, I watched the Wicked episode of South Park. It's like one day they can ruin Broadway. Spider-Man. But yeah, this is a fun episode. Idea of it is that Ike's biological parents, if you don't know, Ike is adopted, but they come, take Ike away, and bring him back to Canada, and the boys have to go and talk to the Canadian Prime Minister to get him back.
Air quote Prime Minister.
Yep. This is another product of its time because the joke at the end is that the Prime Minister is Saddam Hussein. And this episode came out like right when they pulled him out of that spider hole. This episode's just really good because the boys, they want to have like a Christmas adventure. They don't want to miss Christmas. But this whole episode, it's a Christmas adventure. But they're not treating it like one.
Christmas adventure in the Canadian Wizard of Oz. I do love when they drop in after Shitty Walk Guy abandons the plane and all the Canadians are hiding. And like one of them comes out, he's like, "Is this an invasion?" And the boys are like, "No." He's like, "Okay, everybody, you can come out. It's not an invasion."
That's supposed to get the parody whenever the Munchkins, I think they were called, were coming out for Dorothy. It's so funny how enthused everyone is trying to get their stuff fixed, and the boys just, let's just get this over with. And another reoccurring character in the episode, Scott, who everyone considers a dick. He was in another episode before this, and I think they put him in like just about every Canada episode. But anyways, boys, what was our favorite scene where Jeremy just couldn't go with the plane crash?
It would be between the plane crash and then when Stan exposes Saddam Hussein as the prime minister.
Fair enough. What about you, Ryan?
I have two. One is when Saddam Hussein was revealed as the prime minister, because this sentence would sound very unfortunate out of context, but I'm a sucker for Saddam Hussein in South Park.
Who isn't? Let's be honest.
And second favorite scene was right near the end where Kyle punches Cartman in the face very lightly,
He like taps
and a
him.
hysterical reaction ensues.
He starts crying. I hate that because like I like when Kyle and Cartman are actually having like real fights. Like in the Family Guy, I guess it was was it a trilogy? But in the Family Guy episodes, let's let this be our final battle, and then the joke is they're like they're slap fighting like the entire time.
Yeah.
Whatever, it's fine. I'm not here to be a nitpick boy today.
It's just so silly. It was just so silly.
Cody, what about you?
It's got to be whenever they're told they've been going down the wrong side of the road. Yeah, you're supposed to go right. You went left. Fisherman, he just wants sodomy returned.
I know it's so fucked up what he says at the end when the laws are reversed. He's like, "I can sodomize my boys again."
Wait, you guys don't want sodomy to return?
All right, 3 episodes. Time for our 3rd episode. We're gonna do the iconic one, Mr. Hankey's Christmas Classics.
Who doesn't love this episode?
Weirdos. But the idea behind this episode is it's all songs. You have the characters singing songs, hijinks ensue. You couldn't make one of these songs nowadays.
Nope. After rewatching this, I was like, if this was played, if any of these songs were played in any of the shows these days, it'd be canceled. Well, you can't really cancel Matt Stone and Trey Parker at this point, but you know what I mean. They get a lot of backlash.
Yep. So I'm gonna ask the question: what's everyone's favorite song? And is everyone just gonna say Mr. Garrison's song?
Oh my God, yes! I was gonna.
Okay. That's literally the reason you can't
Yeah.
do this episode today.
Yeah, it is. That's when I said, "Holy shit! How'd they get away with this?"
Well, I mean, you could tell, like, even in, I think it was Red Sleigh Down, where Garrison goes, "Can we get rid of all the Mexicans?" Mr. Garrison, you ask that every year. Every year the answer is no. Rats. I mean, that kind of goes into the effect of how eventually Mr. Garrison morphed into to be their Trump character. Which, now that Trump won, we could expect that to return. That was like the Member Berries season 2, that they were doing Trump Garrison.
Also, the dreidel song that got me thinking, man, this shit would be canceled in a heartbeat.
You get thinking about Courtney Cox.
She was fine in her Spencer days.
I can't look at her the same after Pet Detective. Then again, Pet Detective wouldn't be allowed to be made nowadays. I went and looked that up. I was like, oh, why does Gerald just start singing about Courtney Cox? And apparently it's a reference to Friends, since she was starring at that at the time. But another reference for you. Jeremy, are you aware of the whole, where that newscaster kept saying, case of the Frizzies?
Negative.
So, that joke is from a bootleg tape of the Star Wars holiday special.
No shit.
Yeah, apparently it was taped on over like a local station, and it's got part of like a newscaster talking about like frizzy hair or something in it. So Matt putting that as a constant running joke throughout this episode.
I love the little running jokes that they have. Man, like nothing is off limits for Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
I mean, they proved in the past they're uncancelable,
They did. You just can't cancel them.
and they really should have lit up Kathleen Kennedy more.
Oh, absolutely.
Whenever they were doing that episode like last year, I think it was. Kids back in the old days, you used to get South Park like all year round, and whenever new episodes were appearing, like you knew exactly what episodes were coming.
The good old days.
Depending on what was currently in the news.
Yeah, if something big was happening in the world, you can guarantee we were going to get an episode from South Park about it soon.
Yep. Michael Jackson arrested for molesting a child. Well, that's how you get the Jeffersons. So, Jeremy, pass the topic on to you.
Okay, favorite episodes besides Red Sleigh Down? If you guys were going to say that.
For you, buddy.
So, you're asking second favorite episode.
Yes.
I'll go with the Christmas Classics episode. The Canada episode can be a little dry, but still enjoyable. Trust me, there's way worse episodes of South Park.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Not all of them are spot on.
We'll get to one of them during the scale, but like one of the worst episodes I can think of is like Ginger Cow.
Ryan, what about you?
I'm gonna agree with Cody.
Damn it. Okay. We're all in agreement then. Okay, and all the episodes, what? We got... Kenny was in all of them. He died twice and was reincarnated once, wasn't he?
Was he killed in the Canada episode? Oh, yeah.
Yes, the Prime Minister.
Yeah, the Prime Minister blew him up.
Saddam killed him.
Ryan, pass topic on to you.
Got nothing.
Fair enough. All right, do we want to do final thoughts? Because I think we got our thoughts up pretty good.
I think we go watch South Park.
Yeah,
Like, that is the final thought. Like,
yeah, go watch South Park. If you want some Christmas episodes, you can watch these along with the ones we didn't review.
Like, if you've lived under a rock, go watch South Park.
Yeah, you've only got like 300-400 episodes to catch up on, but you'll eventually get there.
Good luck.
Can't be any worse than catching up on One Piece.
Oh, God. Don't even get me started on that.
I remember I used to be caught up. Hold on. I could tell you the exact episode. Episode 758. That's where I stopped. And that was like literally the newest like dubbed episode at the time. And I was like, okay, just need to wait for new dubbed episodes to come out. And now it's over 1,000. So
I just got a headache thinking about trying to catch up on One Piece.
okay. All right. Anyways, this ain't a One Piece review. So, Jeremy, let's scale these episodes.
Let's scale them.
All right. We've got the South Park scale. One of them's considered one of the best episodes of all time. The other one's considered one of the worst episodes of all time. Honestly, it's a highly controversial episode. So, Jeremy, on a scale of good times with weapons to I shouldn't have gone ziplining, where would you rank these 3 episodes?
Right under Good Times with Weapons.
Fair enough. Ryan?
Right under Good Times with Weapons, and I'm only stalling because I can't think of a good, bigger, longer, and uncut joke. It's really unfortunate because it's kind of right there.
It's a circumcision joke, Ryan.
What's a circumcision joke?
The movie title.
Oh, the movie title. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of a good joke to include that in. I can't.
Well,
so there's no circumcisions, and well, I guess the closest thing to a circumcision was when Stanley got his nuts shocked.
All right, everyone. Thank you for listening to another episode of Tairimo Boys Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, telling us your favorite episodes of South Park, and don't forget to ring that motherfucking bell. Stay tuned for more episodes. Wait.
English Jingle Balls got shocked. There we go.
Okay,
Thank you.
There you
Bingo.
go. Stay tuned for more Tairimomas.